Hi, Gemini twins. How are you all out there? This is Carrie at Wooing Nature. Hope you're having a wonderful full moon. You guys were the second lucky crew that gets their August video on the new moon. So I'm really happy to be with you today. Hope everything is going well. There's some information for you on this channel about the full moon. Did I say full moon or new moon? I've been in this habit of saying new moon and it's really the full moon. So please, my apologies. They all start to run together after a while. But anyway, so if you want to know about the full moon, I've got full moon information for you on this channel. It can tell you more about what's happening astrologically. But just wanted to alert you that that is that time. This is that time. If you're setting intentions, setting goals, or if you are reaching goals, then this is the time to reflect on that. And this is a time for self-reflection for all of us. And because I'm doing your reading on this day, I don't know, that just makes you extra special. Got a lot of Gemini friends out there. I don't know. I just attract Gemini people for some reason. Usually Gemini men. I don't know what the deal is with that, but at any rate, it's all about Gemini. So I want to just shoot straight down the middle for everyone that I know that is a Gemini. So the one thing that I picked up really quickly is transition. You guys are in a real serious transition phase. It's time to go ahead and make that move. It's time to go ahead and do whatever it is that you need to do. Why you're not doing it, I can already tell you why. Thinking too much. You're putting too much of your mind into it and not just going with the flow. So it is a transitional phase. It's really a transitional phase for a lot of people, but I think you guys in particular are really feeling the need for it. Okay, you're feeling the pressure. The pressure is on. And it's time to get your body moving. Time to, you know what, or get off the pot, so to speak. In more ways than one. I don't know. Just putting everything out there that's coming through. That's all. Okay, so transition phases and transition times don't have to be difficult for you, Gemini. I think, like I said, I think you guys just kind of like do a lot of thinking. And because you're doing a lot of thinking, this particular transition time is not about it's going fast. So you really don't have time to think, to be honest with you. You don't have time to do a whole lot of hemming and hawing and parlaying and delaying and strategizing and analyzing and analysis paralysis and all that other kind of stuff. You really don't have a whole lot of time for that, because when it comes, it's coming. When the door is open, it's going to open, it's going to close. It's going to be like bloop bloop for you in particular, because the lesson is you got to learn how to think on your feet or move on your feet or something to that effect. Okay, and you need to do it quickly. All right. Yeah. So, first card that I pulled up for you all is the Devil card. That's your mind getting in the way. That's your brain getting in the way right off the bat. Okay? This is like you getting in the way of yourself. Sabotaging the situation. Throwing up all kinds of ching, 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 ching. Throwing up all kinds of stuff, Trying to block yourself. Trying to protect yourself or block yourself. I don't know. I just keep getting this like, pew. I feel like Wonder Woman with the bracelets or something like that. But I don't know. Like you're doing it the wrong way, or like, I don't know. You don't want to block this. This isn't something you're blocking. You're trying to like let the transitional energy come through, but it's like you're blocking it. But you're blocking it out of your own personal fears. Yep, it's your own personal fears that's blocking you. So deal with your fear. What is the fear? Sometimes you got to go deep on these things, okay, Gemini? You got to get off. You can't be scratching the surface here. You got to go a little bit deeper. You got to go a little bit deeper, right? You got to really, excuse me, you got to really dig and find your strength. Because there's strength in there. That's what I'm getting. It says when you go in to dig, this is what I'm getting, that when you do the extra dig, you're going to find your strength. Your strength is in there. And it's the strength that you need in order to make the transition, because the strength that you all need for the transition. Now, everybody transitions differently. Some transitions, you need patience to make the transition. Some transitions, you need to be aggressive in the transition. It just depends on you and where you are. But what I feel, Gemini, is that, yeah, that's what you got to do. You know what you got to do. Get out of your own head. Relax a little bit. Relaxation always helps. Relaxation always helps, because what happens when you relax your body, then your mind gets where it needs to get. Okay, this is starting to be a really long story, but anyway, all right, you know how okay, I'm talking about your body system now, and hopefully it'll make the correlation. But anyway, you know how you get backed up? Your system gets backed up because something else isn't working. Like, let's say if your gallbladder isn't working properly, or your liver isn't working properly, or your kidneys are not working properly, then it backs up everything else. That's the kind of energy that I'm getting with this. It's like you got to unstick the other stuff so everything can flow like it needs to. Let me move on with the cards, because there was a lot of stuff coming through right there. Okay, so Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, there's a message here that has to do with your physical. I just got finished talking about the physical body. Has to do with the physical. So taking care of your physical body, I'm going to say that. Getting the rest that you need, because that just came through too. It's like you gotta, all your systems are working together. So your physical system, how much you're sleeping, how little you're sleeping, whether or not you're getting water and flushing out your system, if things are backed up, not only if they're backed up physically, but if they're backed up spiritually, emotionally, all of that, you got to flush out. I feel like the plumbing, your emotional plumbing and your physical plumbing. It's like it's going together. So I don't know. I'm not going to get into your physical part. That's on an individual basis, but it's like your plumbing is backed up, but it's another meaning behind it. So if your plumbing is backed up physically, it's representative of other areas where you are backed up, could be emotionally. Whoa, this is a transition phase. We've got the Queen of Pentacles here. Again, more pentacles, more physical energy, physical body energy. I'm getting that you need to focus on that. It's some kind of tie between your physical body and your emotional body. There's a tie-in between the two. So whatever is happening with you all, Gemini, whatever is happening with you all physically, there is some kind of emotional tie to that, some kind of way. So like, I don't know, whatever it is, whatever physical ailment it is, if you're stiff, like if your body is stiff, then that means you're stuck somewhere else up here, or you're stuck emotionally. Yeah. So these are the areas that you need to focus on. This is strictly like paying attention to your physical body and the signs that it is sending you about your emotional life. All right, so there's a lack of commitment. There's lack of commitment. There's a lack of commitment. So that goes with the transition too, because if you don't know, like if you don't know where you're going, like if you can't make the transition if you're not fully committed to the change that you're inviting in. You want the change and you're ready for the change and all of that, but then you have to stay committed to what goes with that. Okay, so if you're committed to, let's say you're trying to move, out of your location or whatever. If you're going to be, if that's the focus and if that's the transition that you're trying to make, then you have to stay committed to that. That means if money comes through, you're saving it for your new place. You're not spending it on something else. It's staying committed to what it is that you're envisioning for yourself. Now we're getting down to it, Gemini. Now we're getting to the nitty-gritty. Interesting reading. I totally was not expecting this one at all. Never. I mean, can't expect, but yeah, I just knew that, it was transitions that needed to happen, but now I'm getting a chance to see, like what's behind it. All right, so the world. So there's a lot available to you. There's like a smorgasbord of stuff that you can get involved in, that you can connect to. The universe is kind of lining this up for you. You are a part of the circle of life, but you have to be you have to be willing to I want to say expose all sides of yourself. It's like this transition is showing you all these opportunities and all these possibilities, because it's really showing you all the possibilities that are available to you within you as well. So it's not just outside of you, it's in you too. Pause for the calls. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting that everything is kind of, the universe is lining up for you. You just got to be open to receive it, and you got to know that, this is it. And then also you got to remain committed to the effort, okay? That's really all you have to do. Like, you don't really have to do anything other than just maintain your commitment to what it is that you're envisioning for yourself. So we get in the death card in reverse, meaning that you're not putting an end to certain things. I think this is going back to this about the commitments, because it's like you had prior commitments, but now you have new commitments. So now that you have these new commitments, or you have a new commitment for yourself, or you're making a new commitment for yourself, you got to end the old one. That's kind of too what's holding you back. Okay? So it's like you got to remove the old commitments. And that's mental more than it is anything else, because it's really all in your mind, right? I mean, you know what you're committed to and what you're not. You know what you put your time and energy into and what you're not putting your time and energy into. And look at that. Pay attention to that, Gemini, because guess what? Where you are putting your time and mental energy, that's where your commitment is. That's where your real commitment is. And now if you go and you look at that and you're like, okay, I'm spending like, I don't know, 75% of my time thinking about this right here, then that's where your commitment is. And if you don't want your commitment to be there, then you better put your mind on something else. You better get your mind focused on something else, or you better get it focused here, because this is where it's at. Not where you've been, it's where you are, really. And then where you are is going to dictate the next move. So we got the Tower in reverse. Either you just over a real I know what that is. I know what that is. So there's this Gemini thing. I'm gonna try not to be biased or anything like that, but like, you guys kind of think that you all have the answers. You don't have the answers. So this period that you're going through, where you're like, you don't know whether you're right or left, and it's really confusing you, because normally that's not how you operate. That's not really how you are. So you're feeling like, oh, what's going on with me? I don't know if what's going on with me is what you're thinking, right? And that period of time that you've been in is really to help you see some things that you didn't see before. It's there to help you see the things that you were not seeing before, because you already thought you knew all the answers. You do not have all the answers. There are so many more answers. There are so many more things. There's more to it than meets just your eye and what it is that you know. Okay? There's a vast universe out there with endless possibilities. Endless. Okay? I'm going to say it again. Endless. That means they don't end. So whatever it is that you thought was like, this is it for me, and I gotta just do, no. You've got to put your focus on that. If you want to do something with all that mental energy that you have, Gemini, put your mental energy toward the endless possibilities, right? Let that entertain you. Let that stimulate your pineal gland. Okay? All right. So the Six of Cups in reverse. Okay, so yeah, that's the deal here. Looks like some opportunities may be presenting themselves, or there may be some offerings of some sort coming from different places. You got to keep your mind open about where those are coming from, and you got to keep your mind open about not where they're coming from, but what they are. Don't worry about where they're coming from. Okay? I kind of feel like that's, a hang up. Like you're not trusting the source or the resource. Now, I'm not saying like if somebody is obviously offering you a shady deal, then don't take the shady deal. But what I'm saying is like sometimes you never know how God is going to bless you. So don't rule anything or anybody out as the possibility of the person who can bring you what it is that you need the most. We got the Magician in reverse. To me, that's your card, Gemini. That's all about Gemini right there. Okay? It's the Magician in reverse. How are you using your mind? This is going back to what I was saying before. It's really all in the mind. And it's like if you're thinking too much, then you're not using your brain for what it really actually can be used for, you know? It's not being, it's not, you're not exercising your brain for its best use. There's a lot going on here, Gemini. I can tell. But you know, y'all always do have a lot going on. All right, so I want to stay right here for a few minutes because there's a lot here. There's a lot already on the table. So, getting over what you don't know, okay? Getting past that. So, if it was some shakeups, some breakups, some, things not going well or not going like as expected that was throwing you off or whatever, it's throwing you off for a reason because like where you were trying to go wasn't going to turn out that great. So that's behind you, moving behind you. All the things that were behind you, including these old commitments, that's got to go behind you. You got to put an end to that and really think about what you're committing to now. What are you committing to now? Look at the possibilities. Look at all the possibilities. Think about how those possibilities reflect the fullness of who you are. Because like I said, Gemini, y'all have a whole lot going on all up in here. You're very brilliant people. So possibilities could certainly be endless for you. Go ahead and see that, right? And then when those things present themselves to you, you'll be in a better position to capitalize off of it when it comes. But your energy has to be right. And right now you're not using the energy that you're being given. You're not using it properly, or you're not using it at all. Okay? The Magician energy is being able to reach beyond you into where the source of all things are to manifest the things that you need to manifest for yourself. But you got to know what you're doing, though. You got to know what you got to get your bearings straight first. You got to do that. Letting go, again, is coming up again. Letting go of the old commitments. Y'all really do, once you get your mind on it, you're not getting it off. You're not seeing that, like, what it is what you were committing to before wasn't something you could even commit to. Like, either you made promises that you absolutely couldn't keep because of who you are, or either you kept going down a road that you couldn't go on and you didn't know how to get off it, something to that effect. You just kept going and going and going. You don't have to keep going and going and going. You can stop when you realize that, I don't know what I was thinking. But now I'm thinking this, and this is what I need to do. And then stay focused on that. We got the star power in reverse again. Star power is you having all your faculties together and you're moving forward on your thing. That would be your star power. But you got some work to do. You got some things that you need to put a mental end to. You have some physical things that you're paying attention to, because I do not want to forget that. Don't forget about that. That physical stuff means something a little bit deeper than what it is, okay? So pay attention to how it's coming through your body, because your body is speaking to you about the emotional stuff. Yep, and it's speaking to you about like how you be blocking yourself. All right, so it may not seem fair to you right now what's happening, but it is fair because it is serving to do this. It's keeping you from going down a road that where you would waste a whole lot of your time for no apparent reason. So it's better for things to fall apart, rather than for you to go all the way with it and spend more time focusing on it, and then when it ends up being not what you wanted in the first place. So if things are not materializing, or if they're falling apart on you, it seems like it's falling apart for a reason. Get what you need to get out of it and keep it moving, and don't stay stagnant. And don't get caught up in your own thoughts. Okay? So it's balancing you out. It's there to balance those two Geminis out. Okay? That's where all of this stuff is happening. It's trying to balance you guys out. There's nothing worse than an unbalanced Gemini and an unbalanced Libra. Nothing worse, okay? Keep the balance. Maintain the balance. Y'all the main ones. Cups in reverse. Do what you love. Follow your heart. Don't let your heart, don't betray your heart. That's what I'm getting. Don't betray your heart. All right, can we get some solutions, some positivity, some positivities? Positivities. Loving your life. Loving your life. Loving your life, and see life as the gift, the fountain that it is. It's a fountain. Life and its experiences, it's like a fountain. It never stops. You know, that's what I love about fountain. I like being around fountains. But the reason why I like them is because it's like a never-ending stream of water, which is vital to our life. Without water, we cease to live. We can't live that long without water. So like fountains are like constant replenishing and constant giving and receiving of love. And so this gift of giving and receiving is coming to you right now, because you need it. You need it. You need that fountain of love. So if you are, if there's someone or something that's coming in your life that's giving you a breath of fresh air, take it for what it is. It's there to give you the energy that you need, so that you can continue to keep going forward. You know, like I said, this is transitions are difficult, and you got all kinds of transition cards in here. You got the Death in reverse, you got the Tower in reverse. Especially if you got the Devil, a transition needs to happen somewhere in this. Hangman. That's all about letting go of the past. That's all about, you know, accepting a new tradition for yourself, or a new way for yourself, a new modus operandi. Don't keep doing your same rote stuff over and over and over again. It's going to keep you in that cycle that you don't want to be in. So don't do that at all. It's time to step out on the new. And there's some homeworky things in here, that's for sure. There's definitely some homeworky things in here for you to do. I think the main thing, though, is to pay attention to your body language. Your body is communicating with you. And there's messages that your body can send you about yourself, because that's the way you're listening. Like, you may be one of those people that, you know, you will go and go and go until your body shuts you down, right? So your body is communicating to you about your emotional self, and about, you know, this transition that you have going on. Stay prayed up, Geminis. Stay prayed up. Stay meditated up. You know, look for your signs. Pay attention to your signs. Definitely pay attention to your body signs, but you also might want to pay attention to the signs around you. You know how sometimes you cut on the TV and somebody will be saying something, you like, I needed to hear that. Well, that's because you needed to hear that at that moment. So pay attention to your signs. Don't discredit that. Don't think that that's like, you know, just, I don't really mean anything. It's just a coincidence. There are no coincidences. The universe is constantly speaking to you. God is constantly trying to get your attention. So sometimes you just have to stop so that you can hear. Okay? That's that Tower card. But I just want you to know that there's a never-ending fountain of love coming your way, just so that you can... you know, I'm thinking about, you know how you have water power, and then you have like wind power, solar power. Okay, this is like water power. It's like an abundance, or an outpouring of love and affection towards you, because you need that right now. And that will give you the energy that you need to make this transition and to do what it is that you need to do, the digging or whatever it is that you have to do. All right, let me see. Is there anything else for Geminis today? Something else for Geminis today. This is you getting a little push, giving you a little push. Pushes you off the shore, gets you unstuck. You know, you may need a little help. You have a lot on your mind, or you have had a lot on your mind. So you just need a little push. You need to get off, you know, need a little push to get off the shore. Somebody will be there to do it. That's part of this that's coming through to you. Somebody is going to be able to come along, or somebody or something is going to come along and it's going to give you the push that you need. Either that it may come by way of advice, something somebody says to you. It could come by way of advice about your situation. So if the situation is bothering you that much, don't be afraid to talk about it. You shouldn't be afraid to talk about it. You guys are master communicators, but sometimes you all don't communicate about yourself. You're good at talking. You're good at talking a good game. You got the gift of gab. But do you talk about yourself, Gemini? I don't know. Not always. You're not always communicating about the things that are really bothering you, that upset you. You kind of keep those things in because you don't want anybody to think you're not smart enough to figure it out. But you may need somebody to kind of give you that little push. So, you know, you might want to just say, you know, I'm going through this right here. What you think about that? Or you know how you all do. Y'all can always put it in a hypothetical situation. You can create a scenario to get your answer that you need for yourself without anyone knowing that you're really asking for yourself. You know how people say, a friend? You all are smarter than that. Y'all would never start the sentence with, a friend. I have a friend who has a problem. Y'all would never go there. What you will do is you will create some kind of scenario, like a hypothetical situation that you ask a whole group of people in your office or a whole group of people sitting at the lunch counter or something like that, and you'll get all this information. But really, what you wanted to say is, I'm hurting inside. Can you please help me? I love that. King of Cups, give some love. Find your love spot. Find your love thing. Find your, find the thing that really, not just that nurtures you, but like, find the thing that when you do the nurturing, it nurtures you. That's giving. That's giving. You got to find your giving heart. You got to find your giving heart. Yeah. That's also about the energy now. I'm not talking about all this other stuff. I'm talking about, like, when you're feeling depleted and you feel like you can't muster the energy to get to all this other letting go stuff. This is about how to get the energy going. And remember, we said that magician, you needed to figure out how to utilize your energy properly, right? So this is what I'm talking about. It's like, give the love, you know what I'm saying? And you'll get love in return. Whatever form the love comes in. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It just could be like, encouragement. It could come in the way of somebody giving you a tip on how to get to the thing that you're transitioning into. It could come in that form. But the thing is to give, and I think that a good practice for you right now is to give. Find a place. I don't know if you're going to feed the homeless or, rock preemie babies. I don't know, whatever it is that you want to do. But it has to be something where you're giving of yourself and then it fuels you. It makes you feel better. It's really, truly a gift from the heart. Help a stranger. Help some old ladies across the street. I don't know, But all of that is gonna really help giving you the energy that you need. Okay, Gemini, I'm gonna keep looking for one more time because I know I'm like way over the time that I really get to everybody else. Well, you got to do double time for Gemini, right? You're more than one person. Gotta take longer. Okay, I'm not getting anything else. So that's it, Gemini. If you want a deeper dive, you can always reach out to me at Kerri, Kerri, at wooingnature.life. I hope you're having and have had a great new moon. I keep on saying new moon. I must be on my way to the new moon. It's like the full moon is past and I'm already in the next phase. Hope you have a great full moon. Enjoy the energy. Connect with the energy. Like I said, if you want to know more about what's happening with the full moon, you can reach back to this channel. Actually, it's already posted by now, and you can check that out so you'll know what's happening astrologically. If you need to reach out to me, you know the email address. As always, I hope you have a pleasant day and you're having a wonderful life.